In the spring of 1944, in a secret hospital ward, deep in the French countryside, a young resistance nurse made a choice that could have gotten her executed. She fell in love with the enemy. This is the true story of Marie Fournier and Lieutenant Klaus Hermann. A love that defied war, betrayed nations, and changed 2 lives forever. What you're about to hear remained hidden for 70 years, until now. April 12th, 1944. The Allied invasion of Normandy was weeks away. In a converted monastery outside Lyon, Marie Fournier worked as a nurse for the French resistance. She treated wounded fighters in secret. Marie was 23, dark-haired, steady hands, eyes that had seen too much. Her father had been executed by a German firing squad 2 years earlier. Her brother was with the Free French in North Africa, and gone. She had every reason to hate the Germans, every reason in the world. That night, everything changed. Resistance fighters burst through the hospital doors at midnight, carrying an unconscious man. He was not one of their own. The gray uniform told Marie everything she needed to know. A German officer. The resistance commander was blunt. They had ambushed a Wehrmacht convoy. This lieutenant was the only survivor. He had information they needed about troop movements near the coast. "Keep him alive," the commander said. "For interrogation." Marie stared at the man on the table. Young, fair-haired, a bullet in his shoulder, another in his abdomen. Without surgery, he would die within the hour. For a long moment, Marie did not move. She could let him die. No one would blame her. But she had taken an oath, a nurse's vow, to heal, to save lives, regardless of who they belonged to. "Bring me hot water," she said quietly. "Clean bandages. I will do what I can." For 6 hours, Marie fought to save the life of Lieutenant Klaus Hermann. Her hands moved with fierce precision, removing bullets, stitching wounds, stopping the bleeding. She fought infection with whatever medicine they had. As dawn broke through the monastery's stained glass, casting pale colors across the makeshift operating room, Klaus opened his eyes. He looked confused, frightened. He tried to speak in German, then in broken English. Where am I?" he whispered. Marie answered, voice flat and controlled. "You're alive. That's all you need to know. You saved me?" he asked, weak. "Don't thank me. You're a prisoner. When you're strong enough, they'll question you." After that, she did not finish the sentence. Klaus tried to sit up, but gasped in pain. "The others? My men?" he asked. "Dead," Marie said. "You're the only survivor." There was no triumph in his face, only profound sadness and guilt. "Don't move," she told him. "Your wounds will reopen." Over the next days, she changed his dressings, checked his pulse, watched him sleep. At night, he screamed from nightmares. In his hand, he clutched a faded photograph, a woman and a little girl. 1 week later, while cleaning his wounds, he spoke. "Why did you save me?" he asked, voice thin. "After everything we've done to your country. Why?" Marie paused. The question had lived inside her since the first hour. "Because," she said finally, quiet and steady, "someone has to remember we are all human." Even in this, Klaus smiled then, a small, exhausted smile. For the first time since he arrived, he did not look like the uniform. He looked like a man. And in that single, fragile mercy, everything changed. Days turned into weeks. The war outside grew louder, closer. But inside the monastery, time seemed to slow. Marie found herself speaking to the German lieutenant more often. At first, just short questions about his wounds, his medicine, his pain. Then, small conversations about home, about life before the war. He told her his name, Klaus Hermann. He was from Munich, a school teacher before the draft. He spoke softly, almost shyly, as if afraid of his own words. One afternoon, he asked her if she still believed the war could be won. Marie didn't answer. Instead, she said quietly, "I just want it to end." One way or another, Klaus nodded. "So do I." From that day, something unspoken began to grow between them. Something fragile and forbidden. She hated herself for feeling it. He feared it more than death, but neither could deny it. When he smiled, she forgot the uniform. When she looked at him, he forgot the war. One night, Allied planes thundered overhead. Bombs fell miles away, shaking the earth like thunder. Marie rushed to the ward. Klaus was awake, his face pale with fear. She took his hand, whispering, "It's all right. You're safe here." He held her gaze. "No one is safe anymore." Then, after a long silence, "Marie, if I die here, promise me you'll remember me as a man, not as a soldier." She couldn't speak. Tears welled in her eyes. "I already do," she whispered. That night, they didn't sleep. Outside, the world was ending. Inside, two enemies held hands in the dark, and for a few stolen hours, peace existed. But peace never lasts in war. At dawn, resistance fighters stormed the infirmary. Someone had betrayed them. German troops were approaching the area. The commander ordered all prisoners executed before the Germans arrived. Marie stood frozen. "You can't! He's unarmed. He's done nothing." "It's war," the commander snapped. "We don't have time for mercy." Klaus understood. He looked at Marie and said quietly, "It's all right. You saved me once." That's enough. But Marie couldn't let it end that way. She made a choice. The kind of choice that changes everything. That night, as rain poured over the monastery roof, she led Klaus through the hidden tunnels beneath the old stone floors. The same tunnels the resistance used to smuggle medicine and messages. At the final gate, she pressed a map into his hands. "Go north," she said. "There's an abandoned farmhouse past the river. Hide there until the fighting stops." He shook his head. "If they find out what you've done, they'll kill you." She smiled sadly. "Then don't let them find out." For a long moment, neither spoke. Then Klaus took her hand and kissed it gently. "If we survive this," he whispered, "I'll find you." Then he disappeared into the darkness. Marie was captured 2 days later. The Germans retook the monastery and arrested everyone inside. She was accused of treason, of aiding the enemy. During interrogation, they asked her why she had helped a German officer escape. She said only one thing: "Because war ends, but humanity must remain." They sentenced her to life in prison. She never saw Klaus again. Years passed. The war ended. The world rebuilt itself. Marie was released in 1952, older, thinner, but unbroken. She returned to nursing, never married, never spoke of the man she once saved. Until 1975, when a letter arrived from Germany. It was from Klaus Hermann. He had survived. He had searched for her for years, and finally found her name through the Red Cross. In his letter, he wrote, "You once saved my life, but what you really saved was my soul." Marie never replied, but she kept the letter by her bedside until the day she died. Love born in war rarely survives, but sometimes it becomes legend. A reminder that even in the darkest moments of history, the light of compassion can never be destroyed.